Well, it's an important thing, isn't it? That my mum, this is when she was about 60, 65. There was a neighbour who was, 85, 90. And, again, completely alone. And my mum used to go on there every day. Do you want any shopping? Do it, right? She was good for her. She was like her witness in the world, to her existence. But I remember calling her once, and, she'd come back. I said, "What have you been doing?" She went, "Oh, I've been around so and so." So I went, "All right." She went, "Oh, she won't die, Rick." Like she's helping her, but she's thinking this is getting silly now. You were meant to go years ago here. I was like,
well, that's the problem, if you get pally with an old person, and you could be stuck with them for years.
And having to do stuff, that's what you don't want to do, isn't it? You meet an old, an old fella, and then you've got to start popping in his sort of piles or whatever when he can't do them himself. What do you do if you're...
It depends how friendly you are, though. I mean, I'm just talking about someone you meet at the bus stop, as opposed to popping the piles back in. How does that happen? Jesus. Just the ones on the estate I grew up on. As soon as he got to a certain age, there was Mrs. Knowles who went mental. One day she seemed fine, next day she was chucking cans in everyone's garden. You could just hear her coming. Which was weird. Aren't you? Now you brought up weird people. There was a fella called Shorts Man. Right?
It's so pedestrian! I love that.
Shorts Man wore some shorts?
Now what I like, yeah, he did, but they were really short. They were that sort where, it's almost pointless having them on.
What do you mean?
They were just, like shorts now, for blokes, they go up to your knees, don't they? There's no chance, there's no accident happening there. There's nothing going to pop out.
Yeah. No.
But Shorts Man, he liked it. He liked the fact that happened. Right. And he used to walk with big strides to sort of help the chance along. So that he knew, with the big strides and the short shorts, they were going to pop out.
Did you ever see it pop out?
Yeah.
Why did you look at the shorts?
Just because it was like playing Buckaroo. It was like, when are they going to pop out?
But what?
It's just what happened.
So, right, but Shorts Man, so he was an exhibitionist, he basically wanted people to see his veg.
Yeah, and they were out more than they were in. I mean, they had a tan, right? Now the thing is, what we like in England, I think we like that. We like local characters.
The eccentric.
Yeah. Eccentric's that's very British, eccentric,
I'm glad I grew up round there with all them people, because they're interesting.
Well, there is a certain mindset about the great English, certainly the older English people. I mean, my grandparents are, my grandfather died recently, but they're amazing, kind of eccentric, very English, seemingly no friends, from what I can identify. I don't know if this is unique to them or true of a lot of English people, older people, terrified of what the neighbours might say. Always did that thing of speaking like that in case Jack's in next door.
Yeah.
Like the neighbours are constantly listening in. They've got glasses against the wall, they're constantly listening into what my gran's got to say. They had about 3 teeth between them. It was extraordinary. My grandfather had a plate of false teeth during the war that had a wooden pallet. A wooden upper pallet with teeth on it, and those teeth slowly fell off during the course of the years, never got replaced. So they'd sort of invite you to Sunday roast, and they would wake up at 6 in the morning to put the beef on, and they wouldn't have it till 6 in the evening. They would cook it. The biggest compliment you could have, if you made some food for my gran, if it was some beef, would be, "Oh, you're so lovely, this, so tender, you can suck it away." If you could suck your Sunday roast through a straw, she was happy.
Well, because she didn't have any teeth.
Right, exactly. Basically, they got to about the age of 60 or something, and it was as though they were just waiting to die. It was strange. They lived for my grandfather lived for at least another 25 years. So he must have been gutted. But when my father needed a winter coat, a big heavy winter coat, and he was thinking of buying one, and my gran said, "Oh, don't worry about that, Ron. You can have your father's winter coat." And he said, "Well, but he's still alive. What do you talk about? He needs it winter coat." She went, "No, he'll be dead soon. Just don't, silly to waste it. Seems to waste it, just wait." My father must have been waiting 10 years for that winter coat.
I love the fact he waited. You can see where Steve got it from.
Of course he
waiting.
Stupid, I'm waiting now.
Steve, you must be freezing.
I am cold, but I'll tell you, it's a lovely coat.
In English society, traditionally and now, is manners. I mean, obviously manners change, but what is etiquette? What is good manners? I think that a lot of that has been lost.
Well, I was thinking the other day, have you ever heard of the finishing school?
Yeah.
Carl?
Yeah, of course.
Do you know that?
No.
The idea is that, the sort of gentrified ladies, after they finished their education, they would go to finishing school, where they would literally be taught, how to...
Knives and forks, walking with a book on your head, just things like that, what to say.
I mean, that's
it's like a year of being Eliza Doolittle, isn't it? Don't put your elbows on the table. You start from outwards, going inwards with cutlery. You eat soup, the spoon goes away. There's things like the fork. You're never meant to face those prongs up. So you either stab your peas, or
There's ways of eating soup. The spoon needs to be moving away from you.
Yeah.
And scooping it up and bring it back to your mouth. I mean, it's crazy, but, the people that subscribe to that stuff would look at the way you live your life, the way you eat your food, Carl, and would be appalled.
Yeah, but
in the same way we think that's absurd, they would think you're a disgrace.
But as long as you're enjoying it.
No, they would say no.
Well, no, there are certain things that I can't stand. I can't stand eating with the mouth open. I think that's rude. I banned chewing gum on the set of a film, because I think it's rude. I think it's rude. Those people who stand there talking to you.
Yeah, but we all know you're a preposterous hypocrite. I mean, the way you eat food, come on.
No, I don't eat with my mouth open. I don't. I do eat with just my right hand, smash it and scoop it in. But I see nothing wrong with that.
I would say it was slightly rude when you're ordering the bill and getting up to leave when I'm still finishing my main course.
Yeah.
I'd say there was a touch of rudeness.
But I go into a restaurant to eat.
Yeah, but you're supposed to wait when you're with the other people and let them finish as well.
This is my ideal restaurant. It is empty. They know what I want, and it's waiting for me when I walk in. I leave, still chewing, and I go put it on my bill. That's the ideal restaurant for me.
Yeah. You're pretty much there.
Yeah, I try and, that's what I try and do, yeah. But, there are certain things. I am one for manners. I think, I hate rudeness, I hate lateness, I hate all those things, but some of them are ridiculous. The elbows on the table is arbitrary. Why? I mean, there's a reason you say please and thank you, because it shows courtesy. Those make sense. There's a reason you don't talk when you're eating, because it goes over and it's disgusting. There's a reason you don't lick your fingers and then put it back in the chips, because someone else has got to share that. But don't put your elbows on the table or start with that fork. I think it's ludicrous.
There's those rules when you meet a member of the royal family. For instance, if you were at the Royal Variety Performance and you met the Queen, there's various rules they tell you about.
You don't fart or call her love.
Exactly, for one. But also, you don't speak until you're spoken to. You have to do a slight bow.
I was invited to the palace a couple of times. The first time was after the office sort of broke, and I got an invite. Company of Her Majesty the Queen would like you to come to one of those dinner parties, and I know what you're thinking. Why didn't you get one?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Well, wait. I was a big shot quicker than you, because I was in it. Don't forget you didn't appear until series 2.
If we'd split the atom, they would invite both of us. Not just the guy who does the press conference.
So the thing came through, and I thought, I was worried about it, to be honest. But it just said, I will be attending, I will not be attending. Tick the box. And I couldn't bear to just tick, I will not be attending, because it was too harsh. So there was a RSPV number, and I phoned up, and it was obviously the head of the house, or a butler, or I don't know, someone, and he went, hello, Buckingham Palace. And I said, hello, it's Ricky Gervais, I just got an invite to come and it sounds weird, but I couldn't bear to just tick, I will not be attending. He went, well, you're the first person ever to bother to do that. Thank you so much. I went, my pleasure, sorry I can't make it. But don't you think that's weird?
It is strangely brutal.
It is strangely brutal, isn't it? I wonder if they've changed it by now.
Yeah, there's a little asterisk. Thanks to Ricky Gervais, it now says, I am too fat and lazy and busy eating cheese to visit your majesty.
What I think is this, that no one's ever ticked, I will not be attending.
Right, yeah.
So it was never a problem.
So why did you not want to go?
I don't know, I just thought it was a bit intense, and I turned down all those things. I think I would like to go now, just to look around.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just felt a bit funny, just being invited there. I was invited to all those things at the Downing Street as well, and I just thought, you're inviting me because I'm on the telly now, because I'm famous. Well, where was my invite when I was on the dole?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
With respect, I wouldn't have invited you. circa 1983.
No, I haven't got a problem with, you know, going to Palace or, except I do have a problem with sort of being wheeled around as a celebrity.
Because I used to think if I was ever invited to get given an MBE or a knighthood or something, I'd be like, nah, I'm not part of the system, you know, I'm a rebel, I'm outside. Now I think it would be quite cool.
Well, I only think it's a problem for a comedian, because, you know, we're sort of meant to dish it out, and it's difficult to dish it out if you're being seen.
What I do find weird is the idea of having to bow and scrape before people because I'm told to do that.
Well,
like, what I find is that idea of I'm obligated to be respectful to such a degree just because someone's the Queen. Like, obviously I'd always be respectful, but why can't I speak when she turns? What I don't understand. That's what I find a strange idea.
What would you say though?
Well, I just say, you know, honour to meet you, Majesty. But you know, I don't understand why I can't initiate that. Why? I
don't think she'd mind that if you went honour to meet you before she'd spoken. What she's going to say? She's going to go, cheeky cunt. I talks first, Lanky.